Hello, my name is Hasan Sorrells. This is Todd Living,
Welcome back, everyone.
and you are listening to the GrowthCraft podcast. The GrowthCraft podcast is designed with the startup founder in mind. This podcast, this show, this video you're watching or this audio that you are listening to is committed to growing your connections to our GrowthCraft advisors, increasing your engagement with the GrowthCraft community overall, and to growing your knowledge about all of the benefits that GrowthCraft can provide for your startup. We can't wait to bring you along on our journey today. Now, here on the GrowthCraft podcast, we interview startup founders, advisors, and others about their journey, their process, their product, their service, and sometimes, potentially even today, their operating philosophy of life. And I'd like to welcome to the podcast today, Haim Ohayon. How you doing, Haim?
Thank you for having me first, and I'm doing great.
Awesome.
Happy to be here.
So for our listeners, in your own words, because who else's words would you use? Tell us, what is it that you do exactly?
There is a phrase that said, you can take the horse to the water, but you can make it drink.
Mm-hmm.
I play with that, which is mean, I'm not going to take the horse to the water. I'm going to show and tell him where is the water. When he feels thirsty, he's going to go and drink. But he will remember who showed him the way. And that's what I do. I'm not going to help you because I don't believe it's work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to show and tell you how is that work. Now, if you feel like it, you will take action. If you don't feel like it, nobody can force you. Which is mean, if you want 6 up, you need to go to the gym. I can't go for you.
This is true.
I wish we could figure that out, though. That would be excellent. If we could figure out how you could go to the gym for me, that'd just make my life so much better, Haim.
Wow. Haim, I've been chasing 6-pack abs for years now, and no one's helped me. So,
yeah. So
tell us a little. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about how you sort of came to this idea of playing with the horse in the water. I like that analogy that you were using. How did you come to that?
I like to break all this kind of stuff that people use as a mantra.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to play with that. We said there is another one, which is when we have a goose that gives us golden egg,
mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
And now, what do you do with the egg? That's the question. Why you take care of it? What is your attention? The goose or the egg? Now, everybody going to say, oh, I take care of the goose. The minute that you take care of the goose, you don't see the egg.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what happened. People look at the egg, they don't look at the goose. When you look at the egg, now you lose the goose. You have one egg, that's it.
So let me. I just want to, just for our listeners' purposes, I want to clarify this a little bit because you and we spoke just a few minutes before we started recording this. In case they don't understand the analogies and how you're leveraging the analogies to do what you do for clients, you are a coach of sorts, correct? So you coach. You said to me that you coach business and in life, right? So what exactly, or how do you mean by, are you coaching me in my business or for my business, or are you coaching me in my life in order to make me more business savvy? Like how do the two things kind of go together? Well, first of all, am I clear in saying that you're a business and life coach? Just to make that clear for our listeners. But then in that case, then how do the analogies fit into this the narrative that you're using for the coaching purposes?
we talk about a lot about balance between life and business.
For sure.
You can separate. It's go hand in hand from the time you wake up until the time you sleep.
Mhm.
When you at what you do to produce income, you all your mind is go over there. Now you have a phone call from family member. What do you do?
Depends on the
You
family.
leave what you do, you answer the phone. Now you change the dimension, you change the where you are to someplace else in your
Yeah.
life. Yeah. So this is the balance. How to get back to what you do without to restart it. Because when you restart everything, there is a gap of time that you're missing out. Now, here is the way I'm working. There is three things in every person's life that's holding you from doing what you want to do. That's your belief system, that's your habit that's come from your belief, and there is imagine part. How you use your imagination. Because Napoleon Hill talk about that. If you can see it in your head, you can see it in your head. Now, what we see in our head usually is something that we don't have, something that we want. Here is the other principle that's work. If you want to have something that you didn't have before, you need to do something that you didn't do before. Now, when you do something that you didn't do before, there is a big magic around that because you will never fail. It's impossible to make mistake and nothing will go wrong. Now you look at me and you say, well, sir, you come from different planets. No. How you can fail, make mistake and go wrong on something that you have no clue, you have no idea, you have no experience? It doesn't work that way. What will happen is two things. You will get result, all kind of result. When you do something, you get result. Mm-hmm. That will give you experience. Now the question is totally different. How does that make you feel? If it's make you feel good, great. Put more time on this activity. That's another principle. Life happens on time and activity. If it's not make you feel good, it's even better because now you have something to learn. And if you have resistance to learning, marketplace don't see you. You're not sticking out in the marketplace. But when you learn something, marketplace appreciate that and compensate you because you came with no application, came with no idea. We give something new that people open their eyes and say, what happened here? But if you don't learning, I mean, you're like the other monkey in a marketplace. Nobody see you. You not exist.
Join us online via Zoom at the GrowthCraft Startup Community Founders Forum each third Tuesday of the month at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Look, advisors and founders, we're all in this together. Building relationships with your peers in entrepreneurship is just as important as connecting with experts and advisors. Each month, every third Thursday, we'll meet online via Zoom to share ideas, get support each other, and talk about universal issues that nearly all startups share. We'll celebrate our victories, chat about challenges, and then break out into small groups to address a timely topic of interest. It's a great way to meet like-minded entrepreneurs. Check out the links to the third Tuesday events on the GrowthCraft website and join us at the GrowthCraft Startup Community Founders Forum in the show notes below the podcast player you're listening to right now. I like what you said there about beliefs and habits and imagination. And the reason why I like that is because our beliefs construct reality. That's one of the fundamental things that I've sort of taken and really run with in my life. Would I be correct in saying that our beliefs construct our reality? Yeah. Okay. So how does imagination and habits play into that? How do those two things lock together?
We use imagination all day long. Now we use it in two ways. When you're thinking what stay away from things, mm-hmm. or you're thinking about going toward things. So either you're going toward or either you stay away. Now, when you're going toward something, you're thinking how to get there, what I have to do, who I need to talk to, what road I need to take. That's what keeps you busy all day long. When you stay away from things, you become expert on what not to do. And most of the people like that. I don't want to go there. I don't want to do that because somebody told me, you don't have experience. You don't have the feeling. How is that working for you? Why you let someone else to dictate how your life going to be? I was car mechanic for over 40 years. If you was talking to me before 2009 about what I'm knowing or talking about today, I will tell you, I don't know what you're talking about. I have no clue. I have no idea. Which is mean you need to invest in yourself. You need to learn. You need to educate yourself. You need to take action on everything that you want to do to see what's came up, to see what kind of result you get.
Interesting. So I got a question that might put you on the spot just a little bit here. So
Okay.
there's a lot of coaches out there, right? There's a lot of coaches that will that will focus on one thing or another, right? Like they have business coaches, they have personal life coaches, they have and you and I believe me, one thing I want to say is I agree with you that you can't, it's very difficult to separate the two, especially for entrepreneurs, right? People that are starting their own companies, and it's almost impossible to make these to have these two very, very different or divergent paths, right? But so my question is really more geared toward, so why you, Haim, right? Why would somebody come to you for help versus the 8,000 or 28,000 or 100,000? I don't even know how many there are, Hassan, but there's got to be 100,000, right?
Easily.
Of these types of the people that are doing what you do. Why would they select you as opposed to somebody else?
According to my philosophy and the way I'm working with people, which is mean I don't give advice. I don't tell you what to do. And I recently start to say it. I stop to help people. I don't want to help anyone. You're going to help yourself. I'm going to tell you how is that work. That's the illustration, the horse in the water. I'm going to tell you how is that work. If you take the action, you will get result. Now, many coaches want to, they ask you how you feel about what's going on in you. Well, the feeling take you to action. If they not put a lot of emphasis, a lot of pressure on you to take action, nothing will happen. You don't get result. If you don't get result, how are you going to check that? For instance, my program is work for 1 month. I don't sell program for 6 months or 1 year or 2 years that many coaches do. Yeah, that's the program they have. You sign with me for 6 months and we'll see what happens. No, I sign you for 1 month because first you pay small amount of money. I want to see if you want to work. That's what I'm checking. If you don't get result, I'm out. I have about 80% of the people that I'm working with, they get result. I don't want to jeopardize that for a few dollars. I don't want you on my resume if you don't get result, which is mean you don't take action. It can be that you don't like what I said, that's fine.
Sure.
Yeah. Or what I'm asking you to do, you have resistance to that. So you don't believe in that. That's fine. So you pay for 1 month and that's it. But you don't pay for 6 months. Now you start to fight over to get your money back.
Yeah, I got you.
And many people that way. So I don't want that.
This intrigues me for a variety of reasons.
This wraps up a whole bunch of questions for me. Go ahead.
So Haim, this intrigues me for this approach intrigues me for a whole bunch of reasons. I've said intrigue enough 4 times now. And the reason why is because it ties back exactly into what you were talking about in regards to beliefs, habits, and imagination. If those things are aligned in the individual already, then your role is to act as a Socratic pusher, basically. not even removing resistance, just a Socratic pusher, right? Whereas most coaches probably are acting in a different kind of way. Is that an accurate way of sort of thinking about this? Because you're pushing people away from their resistance. Something that you said earlier, people become an expert on what not to do, right? Entrepreneurs become an expert on what not to do, right? Or what doesn't work. Sometimes we call this collecting no's in sales.
Yeah.
Instead of becoming an expert on what does work, right? And the only way to get there is through this sort of direct Socratic approach, this questioning approach, right?
I give you example. I give you example on belief system.
Okay.
We get belief from two places. Until the age of 6, 7, we imitate and copy what our parents do because we don't know anything different. That's become our belief. That's our core belief. Later on in life, whatever we perceive is true, it's become belief.
Mm-hmm.
Here is the thing. We have superstitions. Superstitious is belief. Now, they said, if black cat cross the street, I'm not going to cross the street. Because black cat passed, that's bad thing happened. I ignore that. I just go through like nothing. So now you challenge yourself, wait a minute. I believe that something bad will happen, but this guy ignore everything and he go. It's the same thing not to go under open ladder. Same thing not to say, not to open umbrella in a house. There is many, many superstitions all over the place. How come that you believe in that and I don't?
I don't know.
Now you ask yourself.
I'm still going to wear my favorite shirt for the Patriots game. I'm just saying.
But that's the question that you need to ask yourself. Here is the thing. Now you're looking for change. How I change that? Well, change. And if I'm asking me, don't ever do that. Don't ever change. Because when you admit to change, you admit that something wrong. Otherwise, why you change it? If it's not wrong, why you change it? So I said something else. Let's add something into you, which is mean, here is the way I illustrate that. You live in a two-story building. You add another floor. You don't destroy what exists and build it from scratch, 3-story building. The two-story are good. Why to destroy them? You build another one on the top. So don't change who you are. Add something into your life.
Join the GrowthCraft startup community online via Zoom each first Tuesday of the month at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time for Expert Tuesdays. With Expert Tuesdays, you'll hear from one of our top-notch expert advisors and thought leaders in an informative workshop or presentation focusing on a topic important to emerging and growing companies. From sales and marketing to storytelling and leadership, in this hour-long monthly session, you will be able to connect with the GrowthCraft community, advisors, founders, and others. And you'll learn entrepreneurship skills you can apply to your startup project right now. Check out the links to the GrowthCraft website to join us on Expert Tuesdays in the show notes below the podcast player you're listening to right now. And thanks. There's so many things here. Okay, Tom's. When you watch the video of this podcast, folks, you're going to see Tom laughing at me because he's watching my brain do circles. Because there's so many, there's so many different things here that I want to delve into, and we only have a short period of time. Okay, one other thing. So superstitions, right? I love that you went down this road. Superstitions are beliefs. So I'll use an example from my own life. I was just recently out with my wife on date night or whatever, and she said something, and I said something, and then we were going to toast or something like that. And I guess I didn't drink after the toast. I never know what the rules are. And she's like, that's going to lead to like bad luck or something like that. And I was like, I don't believe in bad luck. I just don't believe it. That's literally what I said to her. Like, I don't believe in bad luck. Like, I go out on Friday the 13th, I walk under ladders, I'll split a pole. Like, I don't care about any of that crap. And I did say crap. Sorry, folks. I don't care about any of that stuff, any of those beliefs, right? Because I am a person who is very much driven by believing that I assert myself on the world. The world doesn't assert itself on me. Haim, you have a lot of people who believe that the world asserts itself on them, right? A lot of people. Are those the kinds of people that you're seeking to work with, or are you seeking to work with people who want to go in the opposite direction from that, who want to assert themselves to the world?
It's a lot about language.
Okay.
Which is mean I'm searching, not seeking or looking. I'm searching for people that stuck, not moving, have a glass ceiling, or looking for breakthrough.
Okay.
Which is mean they have set of belief that holding them hostage.
Mm-hmm.
So the way I'm walking, we're going to meet once a week. You're going to start to take some action on your behalf.
Mm-hmm.
And the first action that I want you to do is to change your self-image. If you're not going to change your self-image, nothing happens. Because you need to believe that you can be who you want to be. That's the self-image. If you don't tackle that, it's very, very challenging for you to do something. And for me, it's easy way out.
I mean, no matter how hard I believe I could be 6'2" and play in the NFL, it's not going to happen, Haim. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I understand.
So let's take a little bit of a turn here. I got a question for you, particularly about GrowthCraft, right? So we're here on the GrowthCraft podcast, and you are one of the members of GrowthCraft. So can you talk a little bit about like what you see in GrowthCraft, what you like about it, what's been positive for you being involved in GrowthCraft? Give us a little insight as to your experience with GrowthCraft.
I met with Jason in the past. We have very good conversation. And this kind of people I like to meet, people that I can have some dialogue and grow up from that. Yeah. Tom, I never met you before, but I'm looking to meet you. I'm looking to meet everyone. It's mean I know what I know, but that's the only thing I know. If I want to know more, I need to meet more people and educate myself. And that's what I love. I love to talk to strangers. I give you a story. I have to eat apple a day, every day. And I was running out of apple. I'm in my car with my wife near to the supermarket. I say, I'm going to stop here for 1 second. I'm going inside, bring a bag of apple, and I came back to the car. It's going to take me 5 minutes, I believe. I went inside. I stay in a line to the register. I have the bag of apple. Behind me is a black guy, big black guy, with 2 items on a cart. He have 1 big case of beer and 2 cases of egg. I just ask him, well, what do you like more, the egg or the beer? This is what you have in your cart. We end up talking for half an hour. My wife sitting in the car.
That sounds like something I would do. It totally sounds like something I would do.
I enjoy stuff like that.
Yeah.
We talk.
So for GrowthCraft, so you just like the ability or the possibilities of meeting and talking to all the people that are involved in GrowthCraft. That's the part. Okay. I just want to clarify. I was the presenter.
I was the presenter one time. Chuck let me to speak to the group. I said, I'm looking for that, something like that.
Okay. All right. Well, there are a lot of interesting people in GrowthCraft. We've interviewed many of them on this podcast, in many of our episodes up to this one, and we'll interview more interesting people as we go, both advisors and founders, people who are looking to help founders grow their businesses and founders who are looking for growth. And so I guarantee you're going to have a lot of interesting conversations moving forward. Is there any way, as we kind of turn the corner here a little bit, is there any way that folks can get a hold of you? How do I get a hold of you short of being in a grocery line behind you with eggs and beer? Like, how do I get a hold of you? How do I get your attention? What's the best way to do that?
Either my through email or phone,
okay,
or LinkedIn.
Okay. And do you have a website? You got any social?
Yeah, I have a website.
Okay. All right.
In Motion Coach.
Excellent.
I believe in motion. When you're in motion, it means you're doing something.
Yeah.
My name Haim before InMotion Coach at InMotion Coach. This is my email, and I have my number 516-424-6289. I'm gonna answer you if not the same day, the next day.
Well, we will have links to all of those ways to get a hold of Haim in the show notes below the podcast player, below this episode. And I would encourage listeners to reach out to Haim if you're looking to break through resistance, if you're looking to figure out where your attention is, to grow your understanding about your own beliefs and your habits, and to broaden your imagination for what's capable for you, to break through the glass ceiling like Haim was talking about. Once again, I'd like to thank Haim for coming on the GrowthCraft podcast today. Always a pleasure to talk with you. And thank you all for listening. Each second Thursday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time, join GrowthCraft live and in person at Second Thursdays at CIC, located at 1 Broadway, Cambridge, Massachusetts. Located at Kendall Square, CIC features the most engaging entrepreneurial community in the Northeast, right next to MIT and minutes from Harvard University and downtown Boston. With 250,000 square feet of professionally managed flexible workspace, CIC has every office amenity you could possibly need to scale your startup project. For those of you who are local, or if you're just visiting Boston, GrowthCraft advisors and founders can meet others in our community face-to-face. Join us for an informal social and informational get-together. Meet others, chat with advisors and peers, make connections, and then stay for Venture Cafe, starting at 4:30 p.m. Eastern every second Thursday at CIC. Check out the links to the GrowthCraft website to join us live and in person at Second Thursdays at CIC in the show notes below the podcast player you're listening to right now. And thanks.